I actually think this is the worst thing I've ever researched so far. Hyperbole? You tell me. Not too long ago, news broke regarding a lawsuit Atlus filed against someone running the Shin Megami Tensei Imagine private server Requiem, as well as Compaq. There's tons of misinformation peddled by mediocre journalists, and so as the resident news journalist for Atlus content, I gotta go deep. This all starts with Shin Megami Tensei 9, the experimental betweenquel, which was released for the Xbox. It was announced initially to have some network compatibility with the 9 online version, a release separate from the initial release to come later on. By December of 2002, the standalone version of Shin Megami Tensei 9 was sold, but the online version was cancelled for the Xbox. Whoops, should have put that in my Vaporware video. In August of 2003, it was said that there was a release for the online version for PC instead in the future. This would essentially evolve into what became SMT Imagine. The idea of making this related to 9 at all was completely disregarded, and the idea instead became a completely new game. Closed beta for Imagine started in October of 2004 under the name Megami Tensei Online Imagine, being developed by Atlus. This was then ended in 2005, and development was transferred to Cave in July of the same year. Cave rebuilt the system from scratch. The name went from Megami Tensei Online Imagine to Megami Tensei Imagine. The game development went into a partnership with Gung Ho Online, with the portal of the game running through the Gung Ho site in 2008. The name was officially changed to Shin Megami Tensei Imagine. The game would also launch in September of 2008 in America via Aria, and November of the same year for Europe. The game would then be run by Atlus USA via Atlus Online, then by Marvelous because Marvelous bought Atlus Online. And the servers in the West would then shut down January 29th, 2014, which is my birthday, by the way. So I guess you could say Imagine died and I was born. In Japan, the servers would close in May of 2016, with the team citing a lack of ability to create a quality experience. That same year, a Chinese private server went up. Actually, that's not even true, because this server existed while Imagine was running officially, opening around in 2009. The seeds for the English servers were planted too, though. You could see in the Megaten Online Pro boards that the Reimagine team and Compaq were at work back in March of that same year. I've spoken to quite a few parties involved, and this is where the video stops being a traditional history thing with some dad jokes and Simpsons references. I learned that the Imagine private server business is intense. It's highly technical, it's highly personal, and it's highly dramatic. Unless you're the Chinese server or Megaten.ru's New Order server, which the former seem to exist in relative peace, and the New Order server being associated with the most important Megaten archive online, which is just a testament to Russians. They seemingly do everything harder, better, faster, stronger. No, wait, sorry, Daft Punk is French. So with my coverage of this lawsuit on Twitter and the video and the live streams, those in the know reacted very interestingly. I had people reach out to manipulate my perception of reality, people calling me all kinds of names, people calling me a bootlicker for supporting Atlus, quote unquote. Some people thinking that me covering this information is somehow my bid to garner attention to boost my profile somehow, which is insane because literally no one cares about the Imagine game besides the people who played in the private servers, if we want to be brutally honest, and most of those people don't even know who I am. I've been insulted more this past few days than probably any other time I've ever talked about Megaten, and for the most part, the insults were because I didn't know specific arcane information that only the people who were in development of these private servers would know. And most of this arcane information is just stupid, moronic, waste of effort drama. Okay, let's go back a bit though. From the opening discussions of the start of the servers, it's clear that they were not made for profit. It's also clear to me that there was already friction. This friction between Compaq and Reimagine. It seems to stem from the way the code was handled. I should describe the concept of Reimagine now. The general premise was a true experience. This extended to the mistranslations of the game done by Aria, a notable one being the Kukulin event. It was called the Aka-Eda Night. If you don't know anything about Kukulin, it's just some cool Japanese word. Aka-Eda, nice. But if you know anything about Japanese and anything about Ku, you can translate it easily. Aka means red. Eda means branch. Aka-Eda means Red Branch. How does that relate to Ku? The Red Branch Knights were related to his mythology. For some reason, the Japanese name was preferred because it was true to what Imagine was like, instead of just, translating it correctly so people could have an accurate experience. Not a vintage experience predicated on the poor translations of Aria. Reimagine had beef with collaborators, and that's kinda irrefutable. It's also irrefutable that Ration's server, Requiem, came much later in the timeline, going up as late as 2019. But seemingly officially opening to the public in 2020. I was told a lot of the drama by involved parties, and frankly I don't care to even talk about it beyond saying that Reimagine and Requiem feuded, and the powers that be in either camp did not get along. This drama extended into inter-server feuds, trolling, name-calling, and other blatantly offensive behavior flung both ways. It was hard to even digest because everyone, save for one person, had a strong personal bias, and that bias painted their recollection of events. Reimagine was apparently very stubborn, as indicated by the Akaeda thing, and had game-breaking exploits that went unpatched. When they made changes, they would sometimes mess things up, and not take responsibility for messing up the code. Requiem staff was apparently mostly kind to their community, going out of the way to help people, but simultaneously they engaged with this Hatfield and McCoy-style drama with the Reimagine people. New Order was completely removed from the drama and just got to see how stupid Americans could be. Then there's Compaq. Compaq is not a private server. It's the group who created the server emulator that all the servers ran on. They reconstructed all the vanilla content, meaning the original content, by looking at recordings of the game, blogs, videos, etc. They were the backbone of the private server community, to put it simply. So let's talk about the lawsuit. First, don't harass anyone involved. Not everything I said was favorable, but regardless, they did provide a service to the community at a loss. So in 2021, a year after Requiem went public, they decided to make a Steam app version of their server files. When Atlus was in the throes of releasing Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster on Steam, which came about 19 days after Requiem's Imagine listing. This monumentally stupid decision likely led Atlus to seeing it, as surely they would have been all over Steam in preparation, meaning both Atlus West and Atlus Japan would have eyes on Steam. By May 3rd, 18 days before Nocturne launched, Raishin updated their thing to have his logo and the Imagine logo, and simply looking into the name of the server brings up the website, which at a glance is a generic mid-2010s looking site, but if you were Atlus Japan, you might recognize that it's quite literally your website, and with the private server's logo slapped on top. And this young server claiming to have revived the IP. The website is a quite literal copy-paste, so it features the pay site information page, even though that probably didn't work. Atlus wouldn't know that though. Then on the bottom of the homepage, Raishin claimed copyright to the content. This comedy of errors basically has Raishin basically wearing a giant target on his back, and he basically summoned the repercussions on himself. You might be wondering why I bring up that drama between Reimagine and Requiem, if Reimagine isn't the one being sued. Well, actions have consequences, right? It's because of a fit of rage due to the suit, Raishin decided to throw Reimagine under the bus, assuming they ratted him out to Atlus. And it wasn't just his gross incompetence that did that. Now, according to Raishin, the Atlus lawyers did come to an agreement to drop the suit if the offending content was taken down permanently. But because Raishin is scatterbrained according to his friends, and Compaq was also put in jeopardy and also targeted in the suit, I don't know if the suit has been dropped completely. I don't know if I should even believe Raishin's comments because all I have are Discord messages from Raishin saying as such. The Compaq part of the suit is, however, still ongoing. I couldn't say they did anything wrong. They weren't even involved in the drama, more or less. All Compaq did was be impartial. They knew who ran the servers and fixed the bugs that were reported. Again, do not harass these people or anyone else involved in this. They did thankless work, and Compaq are being punished because of someone else's mistakes. And because of all of this, we have lost Requiem and Reimagine. I didn't enjoy researching this at all. I didn't enjoy making this video at all. I just wanted to try and represent the information from a stance of objectivity. But basically how I got the information resulted in that being pretty much impossible. Ultimately, Imagine isn't dead. Atlus isn't trying to silence creators, so don't be afraid if you're an archivist, a fan translator, or if you make your own fan merch. This was all the result of someone's careless actions snowballing and mixing with years of resentment caused by petty drama in their micro niche community. If anything, take from this that you should always strive for taking the high road. It's harder, but at least you don't get other people sued. Thank you to my channel members, Garidius, A Lie Remains a Lie, and FF12 Kid. More videos to come.